Hello and welcome to a new series on FM23 where we will be giving a club £1 billion to see what they can do in the future 10 to 15 years. The first of these experiments is going to be with newly promoted to the National Conference League, Dorking Wanderers. We'll see how they improve their facilities. Do they make key signings? Do they squander the money? Do they save the money? And see how far up the English football pyramid they can go. So first off, let's have a quick look at some of their stats. So if we go into the in-game editor and into the edit club details. So far they've got a reputation of 2,800, attendance 2.5, finances. We're going to change that now. So while we're here, we will change that. There's £1 billion goes in. They can have up to £1 billion transfers, so we're going to do that as well. And wage budget, they can have up to 5 million. There we go. So the main things to look out for then really is does their capacity increase? Seating capacity. They've only got 530, so hopefully they're going to spend the money wisely and increase that as well. Stadium condition, we'll like to see that improve. Training facilities, youth, junior coaching, youth recruitment and corporate. We'll see if any of them change at all. So let's forward 10 to 15 seasons and see if they can get out of the Vanarama National League and how well they spend this money. We've made it to 2037, 15 seasons into the future. Let's have a look and find out whereabouts Dorking have ended up. Dorking look like they're in the championship, so that's a good sign. So they've gone away from the Vanarama and they are in the championship. Also, while we're at it, let's have a look where they them honours. Let's have a look at the competition honours then. Wow, there's quite a lot here then. Runners up in the Sky Bet Championship. Placed third once, so that's about 7 seasons ago. Sky Bet 1, runners up. Have they won anything? Papa John's, runners up in the Papa John's there. No major cups at all, unfortunately. So we'll delve a little bit deeper. So domestics then, we left them in the 22-23 season. They did finish 11th in the first season. Did win it the following season, so they get promoted. They win the League 2 straight off the bat, so that's an improvement. Losing only 5 games, which is very, very impressive. Spend a few seasons in League 1, which they managed to get to second spot and automatic promotion. Into the Sky Bet Championship, which they finished third and second. So the first 10 seasons, they've done remarkably well. And get into the Premiership, which we'll have a look at more at the results as well, hopefully. And they do finish 19th, unfortunately. So is that I think that's a relegation back to the Championship, where they've stayed since, and it just seems to have got progressively worse towards the end of this 15 season experiment, where they finally get relegated to League Division 1. So looking at some of the results, saying so from the very first season, season 1, they've had quite a good run. They reached the FA Trophy 4th round, losing 2-1 to Woking. Bowing out of the FA Cup proper to Solihull Moors. The following season, let's quickly see if there's any massive ones. The FA Cup, they lose first round proper to Yeovil. But they do progress to the FA Trophy 5th round, this time losing to Yeovil 3-1. Did Yeovil do the double over them in the cup? They did. 1-0 and 3-1. Wow. Friendlies aren't that great, to be fair, but the league form's very, very good in the Sky Bet League 2, which is phenomenal. The season where they won it straight off the bat. The Papa Johns, I think they got to the final. The FA Cup second round, they lose 3-0 to Wigan. And did they actually get to the Papa Johns? They must have got quite far in that, did they? Maybe not. They lost the first game, winning the other 2 games, but obviously not enough to go through. League 1 first season, quite hard, but they still get a lot of wins in here. Bowing out in the first round to Sheffield Wednesday. But they do have some very, very good wins in there. 2-0 against Bristol Rovers, in fact. Still in League 1. The Carabao Cup, they enter it. They get past the first round. And did they get past the first round in the FA Cup, beating Walsall. Papa John's, they do pretty well. They lose to Reading in the second round. They get right to the final and lose 1-0 to Crewe And the Papa Johns, that's really unfortunate. And they're losing the playoff final as well on penalties to Portsmouth. But the following season, I think they did go up, losing to Gillingham in the first round, the Carabao. Do pretty well in the Papa Johns once again. Doing well in the FA Cup. They beat Wrexham 3-0. They've already beaten Exeter, but they bow out to the fourth round of the FA Cup. That's pretty good. To Arsenal, no less. 2-1. Continuing to the next season, they get to the first season in the Championship, which is pretty damn good. And yeah, not doing too bad though. The bow out of the Carabao to Salford. They're still in the FA Cup, third round. Fourth round, they beat Wolves. Wolves, wow. Amazing. Fifth round, they beat Man U 4-1 in the FA Cup. Fifth round. That is absolutely superb. United did get a player sent off, but even so, 4-1. And then they lose to Newcastle 4-1 in the quarterfinals. That is no mean feat. That isn't at all. But they do pretty well. They're losing in the playoffs final again, this time to Everton, who find themselves in the Championship. Wow. Staying with the Championship then. How well do they do? A couple of bad results there in October, but they lose to Southampton. Fulham are in there. West Brom, they beat. Carabao, fourth round, they lose to Brentford. FA Cup, they lose in the third round to Arsenal, but they do pick themselves up and have a pretty damn good go of it. So the first season in the Premiership, let's have a look how well they did. So the Cup competition's about in the third round, the Carabao to Brighton, but 3-0 there. I mean, did they get any big wins in there? Aston Villa, Everton they beat Sheffield United. Huddersfield are in there. But again, a series of losses there. Hull, they lose in the third round FA Cup, but yeah, not very well at all have they really fared. That's unfortunate. United taking revenge, 3-0 there. So going back down to the Championship. Again, started off well. A little bit of a blip in the middle months. The FA Cup lose to Bristol City. And then they have a little mini recovery. Again, I think they pretty much established themselves as a Championship side. Doing really well. Bowing out to Chelsea in the FA Cup there. Again, a couple of losses. Yeah, there seem to be more losses than wins here. Although the FA Cup, they get as far as the fourth round, losing to Tottenham. But the results aren't that bad at all. There's nothing that stands out which they get an absolute mauling from. And then things, they start to get a little bit more difficult. A few more wins towards the end of the season. It's a bit hit and miss. A 4-3 win over Sunderland there. A couple of more results. It's not too bad actually. There's less losses in here, but towards the end of the season they seem to collapse a little bit. But they get to the playoffs once again, losing 2-1 to Brentford in the final. Unfortunately, they do beat Everton, who Everton, I think, found themselves in the Championship. And then things start going wrong a little bit. They start to struggle. I'm assuming they lose a lot of players. I don't know. Then the final season, they just get relegated, don't they, unfortunately? That's very unfortunate. So in the first season, they do spend £7.25 million. So not over exuberant, but they do spend a fair bit. Not as much as you probably would expect, being given £1 billion. 1.7 million in season 2. They didn't have anything in 24-25, which is quite bizarre. 96,000 in 25-26. 11 million in 26-27. So who did they spend the money on? Mavididi from Newcastle for £7 million. £2 million for Sanfield from QPR. 60 million go out the door. Aziz goes for 16, so they do make a little bit of a profit on him. £30 million is being spent here. And who do they spend that on? 3.6 million on Onyeka from Brentford. 7 million for Willock from QPR. 12 million from Diallo, Christopher from Fulham. Amazing. Okay, so they're starting to spend a little bit of money. They do let some go out the door as well. Like Sean Mavididi, he goes to QPR 8.5, and Kirk Sharp to Fulham for 11 million. So they are balancing the books. Not going crazy. And then they do go crazy, as I just say it. £120 million. Who did they spend this on then? 18.5 million for Hanifan from Brighton. Belakazar from Tottenham, 18 million. Coventry, 13 million for Anderson. Cody Savage for 11. So they do spend a fair bit though. So they're looking to try and get to that promised land in the Premiership though. 50 million go out the door though. Diallo goes in the part exchange deal. Following season 64, now they're starting to spend some money now. Reserved a few first seasons, and 33 million for Jacob Ramsey from Forest, 33.5 million pounds. Norton Kufi from Southampton. Regulon from Brighton, and a couple of other £1 million. 25 million go out the door though, so still almost half balance in the box there though. So who's their main guy? Mosquera to Bournemouth for £9 million. Continuing to spend £85 million. 18 on Balogun from Brighton. Brentford, Stoke. 56 million go out the door though. Who goes out the door? Okamea to Brighton for £30 million. Regulon goes for 8. £152 million spent in the 31-32 season. I think that's season 9, 11, something like that. £39 million on Binion from Arsenal. 16 million from Porto for Vieira, Fabio. 16 for White from Fulham even, and Everton getting a little bit of money as well. So they are not shy on spending the money here at all. But they do release £184 million. So I'm expecting to see a lot of money still in the bank here. Jacob Ramsey goes for £33 million to Leipzig. Jude snooze up Bell. Charlie MacArthur. Bella Kazar to Brentford, 20 million. I mean, there's a lot of money here. Must have had a clear out every so often. 78 million the following season. Let's have a look. 17 million for Gwynfor Evans from Middlesbrough. Luke Chambers from Stoke, Swansea. There's Middlesbrough getting some money. Sunderland, Harwood, Bellis. 58 million goes the other way. 27 million plus part exchange for Ewan Simpson to Palace. Wow. Fulham get Gay for 16 mil. Brighton get some players as well. 32 million the following season. So the spending started to come down a little bit. But the release, still a lot of players out there. 45.5 million for Binion to Forest. That is a lot of money. A lot of people are going. Ndala to Stoke, Robinson, Sheffield United. So they're not shy of letting people go, that's for sure. So 34-35, there's £18 million brought in. Ferdinand Hudson-Odoi comes in. He's at Chelsea, from Chelsea. £4 million. I think he's manager of Gateshead now at 36 years old. How did he do at Dorking? Can't really tell. Out the door goes £6 million worth of talent as well. It doesn't look too bad though, I guess. The following season, they spend a little bit more, hoping to stay in the division, I'm guessing. They are starting to struggle a little bit. But £20 million on McCormack. Pavia from Everton. 40 million from McGee. So they are staying within England, though, getting players. And not many European players. Plays out the door. This Martinez, £17 million. Fernham goes. He's only just come in, hasn't he? £15.5 million. He goes out to Salzburg. Ben Carroll, Riccardi. I mean, there's a couple of other players, but yeah, they're not shy in letting players go. 21 million in the final season, of which they get relegated. And yeah, I don't know whether they've actually spent wisely or not. Aaron Maguire, wow, I thought that was going to be Harry. Sorry, Harry. But yeah, 30 million goes out the door as well. Okay, so let's just have a look at their current squad. It doesn't look that great, though, to be fair. Let's have a look at valuation. So they've still got Spridgeon. I think he's on loan. A couple of aging players. I mean, to be fair, they could probably get out of there. So having a look at their finances, their reputation has gone up to 5,784. So there's an increase there. They've got £256 million still in the bank. So that's not too bad. So there's no, they're not short of money still. So they should be able to jump straight back into the Sky Bet 1. Let's have a look at some of the facilities then. So stadium name Dorking Stadium. So the capacity now is 14,500, jumped up from 3. That's not bad. Seating, it's full seating now from the 530 they did have. Stadium condition is 0. The lower the number, the better the condition. Okay, so they're top notch then, stadium wise. They've got a roof now and undersoil heating, so that's a massive improvement. And this is where it does get interesting. Training facilities has jumped from 7 to 15, which is good. Youth facilities 5 to 14, which is even better. Coaching's only gone up by a few, up to 9. Recruitment gone up by 1 to 8. And corporate facilities has dropped. It was 16 to begin with, now it's only 11. So they've had a fair few managers from 2030 actually, from when they got relegated from the Premiership by looks of things. A couple of years, and then yeah, they're not getting an awful lot of managers that are hanging around though, to be fair, so that's unfortunate. So unfortunately for this season, the final season, year 15, Dorking do get relegated, but they did hang around the Championship for quite a while, so hopefully they'll be able to delve back in there with the amount of money that they still have, which is quite good, and it would be interesting to see what happens in the next 5 years. But if you do want to see that, do let me know down in the comments. But I think we'll end the experiment here. They managed to get to the Premiership, where they have 1 season there. They've managed to get to a few finals, which they fail. Get to a few playoff finals as well, which they fail as well. But they have gone through by winning a couple of leagues, and they are, well, they're going to be sitting now in the Sky Bet League 1. Hopefully they'll jump back, like I say. So like I say, that's where we're going to end it. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any other ideas of experiments, please let me know down in the comments. If there's another club that you would like to see receive £1 billion investment, please let me know down in the comments also. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. I was ready for more experiments coming in the future. And until the next time, thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.